do appear to be moving again, and the light is on, so... Wonder what happened there. Hello. Hopefully you can hear me okay as well. Good, good. Managed to get my my macro pad working again, so I can control the scenes and things like actually having to look at OBS, which is nice. But that doesn't help me if the camera doesn't turn on, so yeah. I'm working on getting the visual interface for the cards up to the best of my ability. Which could be an interesting challenge. So I kind of want to take a quick detour to sort out my palette problem, though. I'm getting kind of sick of having all the having to create colors everywhere. So I may do that real quick first. Oh, well, that's exciting. I like it. Yeah, as we found out yesterday, when I'm on stream, I can be fairly productive. So it has a way of encouraging focus, because you can't really do random other stuff if people could be watching. Yeah, so I don't know how I best want to do this. It's like so I have like a palette. It's a fixed palette because I'm basically just going to be pulling this into a thing. Is there a way of getting this as a nice text file? How does that look? Because I don't need like a index. Yeah. Dome has a built-in palette, but it's not swappable in any way, which is very annoying if you aren't using a PeakAway palette for it. They do. That's what the FF is the alpha. Although that alpha is in the wrong place for my layout, so that's a little annoying. Because, like, ideally, you'd just do palette dot whatever color you wanted. But the way to set that up is very fixed. Yeah, no, that's it. It's for this is a paint.net file, so it must be how that works. It can end up in the front if you're doing binary stuff, due to the way that bytes get ordered in certain systems. So that could be it, but yeah. Let's do it, and then to be honest, I'm just going to be copying these side to side because I need to know what the actual color is. I suppose I need a name as well, which is awkward. Nothing is easy. Like, how do I name 6 different shades of brown? That's impossible. Is this the same order? Oh, it is the same order as in Sprite, so Dome converts everything to RGB, but you can. So the native representation is in RGBA, but you can interpret hex into that and HSV into that without too many problems. My advice is to store colors so you're not having to do that every single frame, which is what I'm about to disregard as advice, just so that I can get this done. But let's start really basic. Say I've got a bunch of hex codes. Yeah, Dome provides the Pico 8 palette because it's what I was most familiar with, and it's fairly solid. It adds a couple of extra colors because it would be terrible to provide a palette without the Dome purple in it, for example. But apart from that, it's just the Pico 8 list. Because for most things, that's good enough for prototyping. Because then I can do var palette is equal to colors.map to list. Remember comma. Did I throw a comma in here by accident? Ah, yes, thank you. You're correct. Thank you. Oops. Because I had to restart the stream, people will get a second go live notification, which is a little unfortunate. If I really wanted to, I could take all of that list and put it in my JSON config that I've got going on. I've got this little file. But I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. That would be cool. Using Dome for an actual assignment or project could be quite interesting, although if you actually have to submit the code, people might get confused by the language. It depends. Okay, so these are not like that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. And 29. That is something that I've missed from working on Dome, is having numerical indexes for colors. But yeah, you would. It's a little bit of a tangle, but it's worth a try. I just don't want to be responsible for you failing a piece of homework or something. Import graphics for color. What is with my capitalizations today? Yeah, there we go. Cool. Because then I can do the same thing. Palette, font, X. EAD4. That's actually 32. 2. See, with the Pico 8 palette, it's only 16 colors, so you can kind of remember where they all are. Oh. But with 32, that's a little bit too much, I think. At least for casual use. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. And then like that. Page 32, like that. F, E, is 10. Oh, I've misspelled that one. Yeah, it's that's the problem, is that I honestly wouldn't know how to name a bunch of these colors. I got away with it for the Pico 8 because there were so few, so they have very distinct names. But like, one of these is going to be light brown, and one of these is going to be brown, and one of these is going to be dark brown, and then what the heck is this? Like, I don't know. I don't know enough color names to say that with certainty and then be able to recall it again. So I guess numerical indexes is the future. So that's 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27. That's a bit nicer, because now I don't have the floating codes everywhere, and I don't have to recreate them on every frame, and I think that's better. Anyway, that was a slight detour into other things. So back to what's next on my list. I wanted to put this little outline around the deck, so I guess what I'm going to do is actually hide the existing UI for the moment. Just so that I can see what I'm doing. Stop rect fill. No, it's not a rect fill. I just want a rect. So technically, this UI mockup was cheating, I suppose, because I did the design of this whole thing before the jam actually began, but it's not all graphics that are going straight into the game, and I skipped some of a day because of whatever, so I don't think it's really a huge advantage, but you never know. Someone might complain. I lost my sound. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Sorry, I'm listening to stuff. Not something I usually do on stream, but I'm trying it out today. What am I doing? So that's 5. 228. Now, if that's 224, then that card is actually way too low. So it should be there. And that would be 59 wide. Something that I found while getting ready for the Nokia Jam was actually drawing out the UI does help with figuring out things. So I wanted to do that earlier than the rest of the jam just to get a sense for what I was going for. 91. And I guess that this color is something. And 7 again. That's an interesting conversation I'm going to miss for the moment. Don't need those. I'm going to do that a lot. Did I really leave that much of a gap? I did. And that would be because of the deck underneath it, I suppose. So what I wanted to do here is a little orthodox. Total is greater than 5. No, let's not be too clever and start this off simply first. Foreground, 32 thing. Question is, does this version of Ren have that fix in it yet or not? I don't remember. It does. That's cool. I need to background. That. Because now I can basically make it look like the deck gets taller. One, two, three, 4, 5. That. So I guess then that we would do that to there as well. Is that right? Because then I suppose you'd draw them increasing. Like that instead. Although now it looks too far over. Let's try that. That looks better. Because then what we can do is like divided by 3 and dot max this up to 5. Yeah. And then we can do 4. Offset in 0 total. Do that. And then this can be total like that. Oh, it needs to be minimum. And although you can't see it, as you decrease the size of the card, the number of cards you've got in the deck, it plays them. Only problem is that I actually need it to be like if offset is equal to total, it's less than total, do this, otherwise do this. I suppose that if you're streaming for productivity, you just need to be careful that you don't accidentally open yourself up for some sort of plagiarism or something. Oh god, that's not what I wanted. That's really strange. Okay. That's kind of what we want. I wonder if I can afford to bring that up a little bit. I think so. The card deck frame there is just a little bit thin. It's also probably wider than I'd like. Let's try that. That looks better. And the last bit is the colours. So I add like a ton of cards to the deck for experimentation's sake. That looks alright, doesn't it? Don't know how clearly you can see it. Looks okay though. And the deck is empty. Nice. So next we need to put a similar frame on the other side. That will be at 416. Like that. And that'll be our discard pile once we have one. I need a way of showing that's the discard. I don't really want to have... Well, I suppose the cards could just be face up, but that's no fun. 7. Because then you can do deck to stacked, well, pile up. We could do pile deck 5 card U top. Well, that would be the 4. This would be the top is equal to top is 4. So that'll be top plus 6. And again, plus 6, like that. That doesn't need to be there now. Because then you can basically do the same thing. Where this is 416, and all of this can be a function. Draw pile left top. Then the trick is the draw pile, and this is actually the player discard. And then one grows, one shrinks. Ta-da! And then mouse. If mouse dot x is greater than or equal to left, and mouse dot x is less than left plus 59, and y is greater than equal to top, and mouse.y is less than top plus 89, then canvas.print pile.count left top probably something like 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. And it would be the M5X7 font. Other way around. And then it tells you how many are in the deck. So now I just need to center that, and I'm happy. And then font.print count a toString height is 89, width 8, width 8. Left plus width minus area dot x over 2. Top plus height minus area dot y over 2. Okay. And then colors dot correct fill. And top, that should be y, height, top, text left, text top, area.x, area.y, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. But actually I wanted to go back a bit, so -2, -2, +4, +4, give it a board like that. Oh. Kind of. Order of operations needs to be right. Ding. Nice. Not perfect, but it's getting there. Border plus border times 2 in theory. And looking at the wrong dimension. That's not helpful. Yeah, some things unfortunately never change. And schools being boring is one of them. Just in case I've messed up something there. Don't think I would have, but... Sorry, I'm in the tank. It's hard to talk sometimes when I'm going through a problem in particular. So I have these two things here, and I want there to be a border like that. So where does that put me? Yeah, but I mean, it's obviously you can probably hear me when I'm talking, but just in case anyone else happens to drop in the stream when I'm doing stuff, it's nice to be sort of vaguely entertaining. That's the problem, because I'm fiddling just with little numbers and pixels, so it's not ideal. Okay, that's more what I want. Because then just need to do this border. Everything should work out. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so I can get rid of the debug border and I'm good. All right, there we are. So now you can see how many cards are in each pile. Might change the color, but... And you might want that to be a transparent background. It's not that important. I've got other things to do. this one gets a bit more tricky. So. For this one, I actually have to go to my card mockup. Hello there. How are you this evening? I wonder if there's a way of getting Twitch to like auto-greet people in the chat for me, but that might be a bit aggressive, I don't know. So what I want from this is really just the frame and well, we'll start with the frame because that's probably the hardest thing to replicate otherwise. These two. And it would be like that, and it would be card frame. Oh, thank you. That was another of the sort of cheating things I did in the week before the jam began, just because I needed to know how big a card had to be to look right before doing anything else, and it had to be at this sort of size, so I'm hoping that I can draw the different art for each card as we go throughout the next couple days, or few couple days, I suppose. I'll probably have a stream somewhere, or sometime on stream where I'm just drawing. Because I've got approximately 12 cards to make, maybe more. So we'll see. I don't know where it saved that. All right. Thank you for hanging out. We'll chat to you later. Right, that needs to come with me. And for the moment, I'm going to put the draw logic for each card in here. image data.load from file. Like that. Because now what I need to do is figure out how much space there is to display the hand in. Hand width is equal to 5 plus 59. Like that. Yeah, how is everyone doing today if you're still watching? I'd love to know. Feel free to ask questions if you like. Always happy to explain what I'm up to, what I'm thinking about, if you need that context. X plus hand step and card.draw X and top and top. Let's see. Okay. How do I evenly space out stuff? That's a question. Oh, welcome back. Trying to figure out how to arrange cards in the hand. Because you need it to be kind of centerable. Well, it's gonna be really sticky as this goes on, because there's going to be all kinds of UI interaction problems once I start figuring out this stuff properly. Let's see. It's tricky, I think, because you need to figure out where to basically start drawing the cards from, otherwise you get the effect that we have at the moment, I think. So at the moment it's fixed to this side, it'll always have a card here, and then it'll spread out the rest, so I need to figure out how to shift it along. No, my brain is not figuring this out properly at all right now. Kind of need a piece of paper or something, maybe. Because the spacing between should be uniform, but could be different from the size of a card. So, space width, I guess. But you also don't want it to be too far apart either. Like if there's two together, you want them to be together in the middle of the screen. So maybe that's the way you do it. You build it outwards from the center. But then once you start hitting the sides, you need to squish them. So tricky. I suppose it doesn't really matter, as long as you can get that effect. Can't you add a fixed shift value to all of the positions so the spacing... I mean, you could, yeah. It's just figuring out what that shift value needs to be is the problem. So, yeah. the other thing that I'm worried about is once you say you have 10 cards in hand, the cards will overlap. And that's fine. It's just you need to know how to display them properly for that. But I have this problem of like figuring out the problem, but also the larger problem that's further down the road at the same time. So I'm thinking too far into the future, perhaps, because I don't know if you'll ever be able to have that many cards in hand. And also, like, you don't want to space the cards too far apart, so how wide is one card? I should know that, but I don't. It's 96. This should at least center it. No, it makes it worse. Oops. Right, that's wrong, but sure. Oh. Hold on a moment. Let me basically I had it sort of and then I didn't, so that bit's fine. That's not helpful right now. I have a certain number of... No, not quite. I mean, it doesn't quite work. But there's a few different ways of doing it. Okay. I need to know how wide it is when the cards are tiled together with a comfortable amount of spacing, I guess. Max 0 and count -1 plus spacing count multiplied by space. Just for the sake of argument, let's say it's 2, just so that it's got a clean gap between. Like that. Plus spacing in 2. It's better, not quite. Okay, maybe now we got it. Okay, so that's all the cards centered. I have no way of testing out the 2 and 1. That worked. Okay. I want to see the breaking case. Oh dear. That's pretty much what I expected there. But for the 3 cards, it works fine. So I just need to do the special case for that. Yeah. I mean, it ideally wouldn't be a special case. We would have a thing. So if hand width is less than max hand width, then we can compute this stuff like this. Move X hand step. Otherwise, X equals hand left, and step is equal to max hand width, like that. No, but it's actually not the... Oh, it's not the full hand width either, because you need to account for the width of the cards. I guess the best way to do that is to add 1 here. No, that should be the way we're going to do it there. There we go. Give or take. But then it doesn't reset to the centering version. I guess that really it should be like this. Okay, so that at least reverted to the right number of things. Um, um, one step multiplied by hand count plus max hand width minus hand width out. So basically you have to compute the actual space that it's taking up once you account for all that spacing and shifting and stuff, and it should center it properly now. Oh, that's still wrong though. Not quite. Another way. Hmm. So we basically say like that. Okay. Better, not quite. need to get a better idea of what's actually being computed, perhaps. I suppose I need to treat the width differently. And that's basically what that computes down to, is that. My brain hurts. Make it work then, make it pretty, please. Yeah, that looks right for the small number. I just need to do it for the large numbers, so... Let's see, so we have our maximum space. That doesn't change, it's the max hand width. But we have our computed hand width. This is how wide the rendering of all these cards is going to be. So standard centering style, that should just work then. But it doesn't. And width is greater than max hand width at any point. Then I guess the problem is that it doesn't. That looked okay. Let's try it again. Okay, yeah, you definitely can't fit 4 cards in there. Fine. That doesn't work. Not quite. What? Oh. Okay, that's better. But maybe if I don't floor it at all. Hmm. Yeah, that's 0 now, which is not really helpful. Hmm. I suppose that would make sense, though. Since I'm doing the same thing twice, basically, well, the inverse is, so that's not helpful. That's worse. It can do. Well, more accurately, I can get into a flow state while programming. I am not currently in that flow state. I find that music helps, though. but it's generally when I have a very clear vision of what I'm trying to write and what needs to be done to get there, I can get very much into a flow state and things just happen. Left, top. That's well. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm definitely calculating the maximum width of the space correctly. It's not quite there. The let me just double check, but basically it shouldn't be overlapping the end here. So all of these need to be much more squished together. But for some reason it's not, so I wouldn't even call it animation. It's just that I'm secretly playing a card and it recalculates the thing. But even there it's overlapping too much, so clearly something's wrong with that calculation. I guess that strictly speaking, that never changes. Or like actually shouldn't ever change. Let's add width. final card width. Because you basically need to divide the whole thing up into chunks. Canvas top line, X top X 160, color dot purple. That didn't work. Oh. Yeah, it needs to treat this space as if it's smaller. I think I got it. There we go. Yeah. Yes! That's what I want. Let me just remove the debug stuff and then we can... Okay. Right, so a plethora of cards, which I can secretly remove by playing. And it spaces them out properly. And then at 3, you get full spacing. So now I just need to do the selection logic for all of that, so that you can see the card that you hover over. Now I do kind of hate that the calculations for where the hand cards are is going to be duplicated, so I probably need to pull that out into a function. Because what I'd probably have is something like 0 to hand dot count dot map vec.new, and it would be hand left plus adjust and that stuff can go there. Plus hand step times I, and then it would be top for the moment. And slots and left top X hand X hand width. I don't need the printout there anymore. What do I want to do? Because you could do hand I like that. I suppose that makes sense because you need both bits of information all the time, so or in both instances. So get force and slots do the thing. Card equals slot 0. Card.draw pos.x pos.y. Plus spacing. So then we need to do this bit for the above. And we do basically the if mouse.y is greater than or equal to pos.y and mouse.x is greater than or equal to the pos.x and the mouse.x is less than the, I need the next one along really. I guess we can actually abuse the positioning of things here. Because I'm not adding this vector to anything. So I can do ugh, this looks ugly as heck. And left plus the adjust plus the hand step multiplied by I plus the spacing over 2. So if that's the x, then this would be the x plus the hand spacing, or hand step even. Pos dot xyz. Then we can do this bit. and I+1. And then you take that out. Oh. Ah. Um, 5. Oh, aha, aha. That's scary. we don't want to X because we need to be like, did I actually press the button? Like that. Not quite, but if, well, I'm X plus card width. If that stuff is true, do that. Otherwise, do nothing for now. Because we can get slots. If I do that, then we can do canvas.print card.name 0, 0, color white. And that looks like it works, doesn't it? That's... And then that one spreads all the way to the end. What's that? That's fine. Oh, that's what I want. There we go. You can basically scrub through. Oh, very nice. But we can do slightly better. There we go. Now really you'd want to see the whole card maybe, but that's probably fine. Yeah. Now I just need to actually put text on these. So. Animate. Um, 96. No. import the palette for like that. Right. Ooh. And then we'll do canvas.print. Name x plus 8, y plus 8. And this is clear something. I actually have to figure out what the size that is. How far am I in terms of my end goal? That's hard to judge. There's still quite a few things I'd like to put in. Obviously, I need to make all the cards that are going to be in the game, as well as their effects and any potential animations. The game still needs combat mechanic underpinnings to go with that. And then random generation for the layout of the dungeon. And then it would at least be vaguely playable for more than a minute. And then there's a few other bits and pieces, but we're basically here in my list of things to do. So probably just over halfway, but it's really this thing here that is chunky at the end. So that'll probably take me most of the weekend. Plus any other cutscenes and art and all sorts. So it depends on how high a fidelity we go for. I'm just saying, that's quite good. It'd be nice if I could do some smoother animation for things like the card drawing, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. Should it move up to show the whole card? further down. That's probably too far. Oops. let me go fix that again. 6. Like that. I can make the gap so this could hop up higher, maybe. Text color is wrong though. Then I need to go and center the text on them, perhaps. It is tricky, you're right. This should center the, oh, no. This should center the text on the cards. Yeah. Oh. That feels quite good. It'll definitely need some kind of animation for the draw, though. Because it looks weird when you draw from the deck and a new card appears just out of nowhere. It's not immediately obvious what's happened, so I have to think about that. So I've got 3 cards in hand. Play the dark. And it should actually put the new one at the front of the hand, maybe, as well, which it doesn't do at the moment. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different niceties going on that could be fixed here. So the play card thing. So this should actually be insert 0. Because then you're well, yeah, because we're drawing from the left hand side, which is not always the thing. So then water should move to the center, and then water should move to the end. That looks more followable. A lot of games have the deck on the right hand side, so adding it to the end of the list that is your cards makes more sense. But because we're going from left to right, you have to do it that way. That was rough. We got into the weeds a bit there with the hand layout, but let's put this back to how it should be. Oops. There. I might move up the cards just a little more. Yeah, that's better. In the ideal world, it would like smoothly shift and whatever, but I do not have the time or patience for that. Right. I'm going to commit. Cards are displayed correctly. Yeah. It would be nice to have that kind of shift in the UI for that. I just don't know how I would do it right now with the available engine tools, so I'd have to add a new bit of animation stuff for that. And having the other card come down at the same time probably wouldn't be too difficult. We'll see. Cards are displayed correctly rather than as text. I have also lost a feature here, which I need to go get back. Which is this bit. So then I can play the sword card. If I play the water, then the light and lightning should shift across. Yeah, that's better. So we've got the keyboard controls back. Um, and then none of this stuff is required now. Oh, that feels so good. A card. Movement. Okay. Because to do that animation, you need a few extra things. You need to know the previous card. As well. So this is null. If previous is now, how do I tell what the previous one was? Because I don't keep track of the so if these two are different, that hurts my head. Ow. Okay. I think I'm doing this stuff a little wrong. You should be selected. That shouldn't be set here. We'll come back to this in a moment. Previous. to select it, or well, actually no, if it's not the selected card and it's not the previous card, then do that. And then slots selected is equal to slots. Previous is equal to selected, like that. And then I need this variable here. Selection tick. If not selected, or not previous, or not quite, but there we are. This is an experiment. Selection tick 32. So that should be the selection tick -1. I'm missing something stupid here because it's not doing anything. Oh, it's checking for the thing in the wrong place. Although that's not... Ah. Helps not to reset the value. If previous 0 and do that. Almost. Else. No. And that's the selection tick. Ugh. Um, Almost. That's too fast, really, but it's also not actually coming down yet. But so we want this to settle down to there, but this one is raising up to there. Not so simple though. Selection tick direction is equal to 0. Selection tick is equal to 0. Most, but not quite. Come back to the previous in a moment. If selected and selected 0 is equal to card, then do nothing else. Same thing for the previous. Otherwise, do the actual thing. And I hate this, it's just I need a cleaner way of thinking about it for the moment. And I can go and invert them later. is it drawing it twice? Other way around, other way around. What's the issue? It's like, well, there's many issues, but yeah. I don't want to draw this twice if somehow they're the same. It's not quite. We still have a long way to go. Because it's yeah, there's many things wrong. I'm not actually happy with this at all, so I might throw it out. There's a lot of additional stuff for animations that is hurting my brain. Let's see if I can sort of puzzle my way through it real quick. So I have my mouse over something. This stuff should all be up here, maybe? No, there's... Ugh. Right. If the mouse is over a card, that becomes the selected card. It's really the hovering card, but meh. That's this line. That's the important one for the moment. Let's take that out while we consider things. When there's not a previous, because we haven't got a previously selected thing, or the card has changed. then we want to begin the movement timer. But really the directions each one should be moving are independent, rather than trying to do this sort of tied together thing that I've got going on. So maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should be trying to consider each one like this. But I'm not sure. Hovering over a card. No, each one has to be done individually, I think. Let me Tick is equal to this. And slots if slots.count is not the same as hovertick dot count, then really we'd want to maintain this state even more uniquely, but I don't have the thought for that right now. Because if the hand arrangement changes, we have problems. Can we set the size of the... like that. No, that's not a good idea. No, I'm scrapping it. I'm losing too much at the moment for this. Sometimes you just have to know when to stop doing stuff and do something else instead. Yeah. Almost. Not easy to... That should actually be hover. down, and between. Okay. Get commit dash in. Small attach for covered card. Push. Take a drink. Right, where are we in the grand scheme of things? So we kind of have this. It's rudimentary, but it works. It might be nice to have, like, I could imagine like the card sliding up and having some other animation play, but that might get really annoying really fast. So we'll leave it like this for now. So I guess we would get to the next thing, which would be drawing the image on the cards. Because, well, I suppose I've only got one image, but being able to pick what the image is for the card. Just like that. And then image.draw x.y if there is an image to draw. Yeah, drop shadow. No. And then it's 27. 1 plus 27. Like that. Not quite. move the text up a very slight amount. Zero and none. There. Headphones down. Okay, so what I need function image image path. Like that. And the card handles its own file loading. Generator. So I want to export just the selected layer. Like that. And it would be res image cards sword. Okay. Ding. And then that's got the sword on it. I don't know if there are any other swords in the deck, but they wouldn't have that in there. I guess we'd need a centralized prototype pattern thing in order to have all of these copies of, I mean, I don't necessarily need that because in this version of the game, there's only one copy of each card. So that's not so much of a problem. Oh, that's not true though. That's not true because items could be repeated. Is there more I want to do here for card stuff? I'll probably take out the turn timer for the moment. So that might be it for now. Let's see. Don't know. I think I'm probably done for the day. It's been a long stream. Pretty big impact on the visuals of the game, so that's nice. Now we just need to have the cards really be able to do stuff, which will require some things, and we'll need pictures for the cards, which I have to draw, and I don't want to draw those right now. So I think I'm going to say that's enough for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening in, watching my struggles. I appreciated the moral support. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll actually be streaming probably most of the day tomorrow, and again Friday, because I'm not working, which is great. So, yeah, see you then. Have a good one.